The crowd was still roaring when the winner raised his gloves high, but his face told a different story. He had just scored a dramatic knockdown that sent a shock through the entire arena. Everyone expected a triumphant grin, maybe a boast, yet his eyes carried a heavy truth. The microphone came to him and the lights cut across the ring, leaving a single spotlight. He breathed in slowly, almost hesitant to speak. "I need to tell you all something," he began, his voice steadier than his trembling hands. The audience quieted, sensing the weight behind his words. "This victory means a lot, but there's something I've been hiding." He glanced downward, the cheers fading into a hush. "I'm almost completely blind in my left eye." A ripple of disbelief ran through the arena. Reporters lowered their cameras for a moment, stunned. He continued before anyone could interrupt. "It's because of a retinal detachment and cataracts," he said. "I've been fighting like this for a while." His opponent, still seated on the stool, stared at him in shock. Even the referee stepped closer, unsure if he'd heard correctly. "I can barely see punches coming from that side," the winner admitted. "Every round I fought tonight, I was trusting instincts more than sight." The audience gasped as the reality sank in. He tightened his grip on the microphone. "I have surgery scheduled for next week." His words hung in the air like a heavy bell tolling. "I don't know how it's going to turn out. Maybe I'll recover. Maybe I won't." People in the front rows leaned forward, drawn in by his raw honesty. "I wasn't sure if I should even fight tonight," he confessed. "But I didn't want to let this chance slip away. I wanted to prove that heart can overcome fear. I wanted to feel alive in this ring one more time." The medical team watching from ringside exchanged concerned glances. His trainers stood frozen, their emotions mixed between pride and worry. "I've been waking up every day with pain in my eye," he said. "Sometimes it feels like darkness is creeping in from the edges. Sometimes I wonder if tomorrow I'll open it and see nothing at all." He looked around the arena, taking in the faces. "You came here to watch a fight," he said softly. "But life is the real fight. We all have something unseen we're battling. This was mine." A lone cheer broke the silence, then another. Soon the crowd was applauding, not for the knockout, but for the courage. "I don't want sympathy," he insisted. "I want you to know that even when things look impossible, you keep going. You keep swinging." His opponent stood and walked toward him, extending a hand. The two fighters embraced in the center of the ring. It was no longer about victory or defeat. It was about shared respect. It was about being human. "I will come back," he promised. "If the surgery works, I'll fight again. If it doesn't, I'll still find a way to fight, just maybe in a different ring. This is not the end of my story. It's just another round." The audience rose to their feet, a standing ovation that echoed like thunder. He lowered the microphone, tears mixing with sweat on his face. The arena lights seemed to shimmer as if honoring the moment. Tonight wasn't just a win on the scorecards. It was a declaration of resilience. The ring announcer tried to speak but his voice cracked with emotion. Even the cameras seemed to linger longer than usual, capturing every second. He raised his fist one more time, not as a champion of a sport, but as a champion of spirit. The night would be remembered not for the knockout, but for the confession that turned a fight into a testament. And as he stepped away, the crowd continued to cheer, not just for the fighter who had won the match, but for the man who had revealed his soul. The bell had rung for the final time that evening, yet the echo of his words would last far beyond the arena. He left the ring not as a mere victor, but as a symbol of perseverance. The path ahead was uncertain, but he walked toward it unafraid, one eye clouded, both eyes open to the fight of life.